Good morning. Today I did a written post. Started out with Thomas Merton, and I think it's so important. He says that the saint judges no man's sin because he does not know sin. He knows the mercy of God. He knows that his own mission on earth is to bring that mercy to all men, right? The religious spirit is alive and well today, right? You see it all over Facebook. It's easy to point out the problem and the darkness of things, but are we bringing light and love and mercy and hope into that darkness, or are we merely pointing out what's out there? And I think that comes from this perspective of trying to gain our own righteousness in a religious spirit, of trying to gain our own righteousness by pointing out the unrighteousness of others, instead of understanding that righteousness is a gift of God. It's nothing that we do. We just receive it, believe it, and then reflect it in our lives. But the religious spirit has been forever since the time of Christ. If you think about it, I was thinking about how Jesus healed the blind man from birth, right? He heals this blind man from birth. It's beautiful what he does, right? He spits in the mud and gets the mud and puts it over the man's eyes and heals him. He's been blind since birth. I was blind, but now I see. And the religious of the day, the only thing that they could focus on, that Jesus was not a man of God because he healed on the Sabbath. And that's what we do today. We focus on other people's sin and their brokenness, and instead of seeing that they have value and bringing that light of God's love and grace into that situation. That's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to experience the love of God in our own life. It overwhelms us and sets us free and gives us new lenses to see people, to see their value rather than what they're doing. Because all of us at one point have been lost, have been dead in our sins and our trespasses, but God, being rich in mercy and grace, makes us alive together with Christ. But the religious spirit, he gave me this perfect vision that they have not been overwhelmed by the grace and love and mercy of God. If they had, they wouldn't be doing. They've incorporated Jesus into their life, but they haven't submitted their life to God. They aren't in that place of seeing the way that he sees. So that's where the religious spirit comes from. They're just in that posture of pointing out all the darkness of the world, all the sin of others, right? Instead of being overwhelmed by God's grace, mercy, and love. And I used to get frustrated because they were distorting the beauty of God's grace. They were distorting it and disfiguring Jesus himself in doing so, just like the Pharisees were. And yet, God is hanging on the cross. Jesus is hanging on the cross saying, "Forgive them, they know not what they do." So God changed my heart. So now I pray that they will be overwhelmed by God's grace, mercy, and love so that they're able to see things with new lenses. See things through the lenses of Christ, of love and mercy and grace rather than judgment and condemnation and all those things that come from the law instead of being the beauty of being under grace. God bless you all.